I type one query, three agents kick in. A researcher which scrapes live web sources, a judge which score each question for relevance using an LLM, and a writer which synthesize the top results and stream a full markdown blog post to your terminal in real time. No wrappers, no abstractions, just Python code line by line. So this tutorial is very simple in terms of coding and in terms of understanding. It is very simple. It is just some 200-300 lines of Python code. No abstraction is there, no wrapping of LangChain or LlamaIndex, nothing. It is very simple tutorial. I have developed it. So in this tutorial, it's a multi-agent research pipeline that we will develop. So before jumping to the structure, let's focus on the workflow. So workflow is there would be a user query. Then from that user query, we will go and we'll call an MCP tool which will hit the internet and which will fetch the top 5 important links, top links from DuckDuckGo. We'll read that, we'll try to parse the HTML text from there, and once the text is parsed, we'll give that particular text to an LLM along with the user query to find a score matching, whether that particular data that we have extracted, is it even relevant to us or not. So for now I have kept a threshold of 0.45. If the score is greater than 0.45, we'll keep it, otherwise we'll drop it. And this additional check that if the total number of links that I am seeking for is less than 3, we'll again try to query with a different user query. So once, let's say, we have all the links that are validated and that are relevant to us, we'll give that to a writer agent. It will parse the text and it will create a particular format in which we can learn the topic easily. And that's how this complete workflow is going to work. So let's jump into the files. So if you'll see the structure of this particular tutorial, there is a mcp.json. I have just given a DuckDuckGo MCP server, that's all. Then there is the orchestrator.py. It is a very simple file. This is not an agent as of now. I have kept it very simple for the tutorial. It's just a Python script which is kind of acting as an orchestrator and communicating with the researcher, reviewer, and writer. Okay, now let's go to the base agent file. Here you have defined all the base classes, what LLM providers it can support, what is a tool spec if you want to define a tool in a particular agent, and then all the things while calling to LLM provider, like if there is Ollama, if there is Gemini, if there is ChatGPT. So all of them require different calling mechanisms right now. So I have just abstracted that out into LLM provider. This is the base agent that every agent should inherit. It takes like name of the agent, the provider, and the tools that we want to call, and it has an abstract method of running it. Now let's jump to orchestrator. I'll go to the flow one by one. So at the bottom of this particular file, we call the main function. Main function is just doing some simple stuff, loading the env. Then from the input of the user, it is determining what LLM provider to use. Once we have the provider, and we will ask for user to input what topic they are going to learn about. So let's say we have that also. So final step is running a pipeline. Okay, now in the pipeline, first we have defined all the agents. Now first of all is this line where we are calling the researcher agent. We are giving the user query and we want top 5 links from the internet. So let's jump to this particular agent. Okay, so here we have the researcher agent. Let's try to go through the documentation. Tutorial flow researcher agent.run is called with a topic query. If the LLM support native tool calling, that is OpenAI, and Ollama also supports for few of the models. We enter into React loop. LLM decide which web search to call. Maybe it would be a web search or it would be a read URL. It depends on the context. For the other providers, for now I have skipped it. I have called it manually. So finally it will return you a search result kind of object, a list of research result. So below we have defined the data class. It will contain a title, it will contain the URL, it will contain a snippet, a short description or auto-generated summary, and the content that we will scrape from the HTML. Okay, so it has complete context of a particular link, what we are trying to scrape. Then let's go to the definition. This is the research agent. We have defined two tools at the start, web search and read URL. We have defined all the specs for the tooling also. For web search, search the web for relevant link based on the query, and the properties, it has a query and maximum number of links. Both of them are required and there are no additional properties, and same for read URL. Okay, then let's say run is the function that we call from the orchestrator. Okay, what it does is it will first check whether this LLM supports native tool calling or not. The function is defined below, but for OpenAI and Ollama it will give a true. So now we are running the LLM run LLM tool loop. So let's see what it does. So it has generated a particular message, and the system prompt is: you are a research agent, use tools to find and read web sources, collect at least 5 unique links that return JSONs only. It is the format that we require as an output, and it is the user role. The prompt is: this is the topic, start by calling web search. We have clearly defined in the user flow. So here is the block where the complete processing happens. So first we'll call the LLM according to the user prompt that we provided above. It will do a web search, it will give you the links, and then finally what we are doing is we are building result from each link. Okay, so this is what we are trying to do in this flow. So once this line is completed, we'll have top 5 links and their content. Now the point is, are those links relevant to us, relevant to the user query? Now here is where our judge agent, our reviewer agent comes into the place. So if you'll see below, there is just a loop that I have added. If the number of search result is less than 5, we'll again call the LLM with the updated user query. So I have just added in-depth guide, which will, will have better links about the user query. But let's say we have all the links. So what we'll do is, now we'll call the reviewer. Now we will call the reviewer. So here, we have called the reviewer. We have given the query, user query, all the results that we have get from the web search, and the threshold. Let's jump to the reviewer now. So this is the reviewer. There are no tools we have defined. So it is just a LLM call. It calls judge single link, and for all the results from the research agent. So if we'll jump to judge single link, it does is: you are a strict research agent, return only JSON with keys score 0 to 1, and reason is this. Before that, we have built the judge prompt. So let's have a look at that. Evaluate the following web source for relevance to the user query. We have given the title, we have given the URL, we have given the snippet, we have given a slice of an extracted content. Now scoring guide is between 0 to 1, 1 being highly relatable, and the result would be only a score and the reason. That's all. So that we have baked out. So finally, for each link, it will review against the user query and will give you a score. So now back to the orchestrator. In the reviewer, after the reviewer has ran, what you will have is each link is validated. Again, for the safety purpose, I have put if the accepted count is less than 3, again call the research agent with updated user query. Okay, but now let us assume that we have all the links. So the final task is extract all the content and give it to LLM to write a beautiful blog or beautiful document where we can understand about the topic. So finally what it does is it calls the writer. It's slightly different from the above agent calling, because for the tutorial I want it to be as a stream of tokens that is produced. So we'll go to this run stream. So if you'll see, the only thing we are doing is we are building a prompt and then we are calling a LLM. So building a prompt, here we have created all the sources context, and this is the output that we are expecting, and this is the system prompt. You are a technical blog writer, follow the provided schema exactly and write concise, accurate content. And this is user query. We have given the output schema, all the inputs that we want, and return only well formatted Markdown, not JSON, with these sections in the order. This is how it works. Now let's again see a tutorial. So I'll go to my screen. I'll just run make run. So everything is configured. You can just clone this git repo and try this out. It will first ask you what type of provider you are using. So for OpenAI, Anthropic and Gemini, you will need to set API keys, but I'm using Ollama. It is asking, okay, welcome, what topic would you like to learn about? So let's say I want to learn about Agentic AI. So it has called user query, It has fetched 5 links and now it is reviewing 5 links. So I've used NVTop to see GPU utilization. If you'll see, um, the context and the user query is being sent to LLM, so the GPU utilization shoots up in my case. So it has completed reviewing all the links. We have the 5 link and we have the score. It seems all of them are relevant to the user query. And now once we have all the context, we have given it to the writer. Now we are just waiting for writer to complete. So yes, it has started streaming out the things. So Agentic AI, a practical learning guide. Agentic AI building autonomous intelligent systems refers to a system that possesses agency, the ability to make decision, learn, act, achieve goals in a dynamic environment. So what we have seen is it is printing a good amount of blog that we can consider to learn new things and new topics. Moving to the readme again. So here we have seen, I have given a quick start document also. You can just clone this repository and try it on your system as well. You can plug in into OpenAI, Anthropic or Gemini keys if you want to, or you can use Olama for learning the stuff. I have created a make file for file so that you can use it more faster in a way. And these are the commands to help you out. Let's talk about some future work that we can do on this tutorial. The first thing is a summarize agent. Currently, as you have seen, that to write the blog or maybe the article, we are giving only 1000 to 1200 characters. So what we can do is we can give the full document and we can implement a summarizer agent in between of the judge agent and the writer agent. Okay, or maybe in the researcher or in the judge agent. So whatever the complete article is, it could be a very large article. So we can summarize it and then we can ask them to write a particular task or maybe a particular article. Second is token usage tracking we can add. So that's it for now.